5 consecutive years, 5 consecutive playoff misses. One of MLS's most storied franchises has been in the wilderness since their glory days of 2017.
This season in MLS history is now complete as Toronto FC win their first ever MLS Cup.
But in 2026, as Toronto FC celebrates their 20th season in Major League Soccer, everything is about to change.
I'm Lot, and today we're breaking down why this could be the year Toronto FC finally returns to relevance in the Eastern Conference.
Welcome to the Toronto FC 2026 season preview. Welcome. This is TFC on the road, and today we're breaking down why this could be the year Toronto FC finally returns to relevance in the Eastern Conference. From a blockbuster defensive signing to one of the most unusual schedules in club history, the Reds are facing a season unlike any other. The question isn't whether they've improved on paper, it's whether they can execute when it matters most. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect from Fraser's squad, who the key players are, and whether Toronto can end their playoff drought. Let's get into it. On January 2nd, 2026, Toronto FC made a statement. Walker Zimmerman, 2-time MLS Defender of the Year, 5-time Best 11 selection, United States international, joined the Reds on a deal running through the 2027 to 2028 MLS season. This is not just a signing. This is a declaration of intent.
Always a force to be reckoned with, both in league play and in the playoffs. So knowing that that is what this club can achieve, they already have achieved it.
Zimmerman is 32 years old. He's still right in that elite window for a center back. When he won back-to-back Defender of the Year awards in 2020 and 2021 with Nashville SC, he was the best defender in this league, period. But here's what makes this move brilliant. It's not just about his on-field ability. Toronto FC hasn't had a true defensive leader since Drew Moore. That's nearly a decade of instability at the back. Zimmerman changes that immediately. He's vocal, he's commanding, he reads the game at an elite level, and most importantly, he's won at the highest levels, domestically and internationally. Compare this to the Drew Moore signing in 2015. Toronto brought in a veteran American center back to stabilize their defense. 2 years later, they won the treble. History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The defensive numbers tell the story. Under Fraser last season, Toronto showed improvement defensively despite finishing 6-14-14. Now add Zimmerman to that equation. This isn't incremental improvement. This is a transformation. Zimmerman will partner with a younger defender, likely elevating their performance through positioning, communication, and game management. That's what elite defenders do. They make everyone around them better. Toronto didn't need to pay a transfer fee to land him, but make no mistake. You're paying for elite pedigree, leadership, and reliability. And in MLS, you build from the back. If your foundation is shaky, nothing else matters. Zimmerman is that foundation. The verdict. This is Toronto's best defensive signing in nearly a decade, and it's exactly what they needed. Zimmerman didn't come alone. Toronto made multiple moves to address their defensive deficiencies. Matheus Pereira arrives from CD Santa Clara in Portugal's Primeira Liga. The 25-year-old Brazilian left-back has been playing consistent first-team football in a competitive European league. Left-back has been a problem position for Toronto. Pereira has the profile to solve it. Modern fullbacks are hybrid players. They defend, they attack, they cover massive amounts of ground. Pereira checks those boxes, and at 25 he's entering his prime years. Derek Etienne Jr. returns on a new deal through 2026. Continuity matters. When you're integrating multiple new players, having familiar faces who understand the system is crucial. Etienne provides that stability in attack. Now the departures. Sean Johnson to DC United leaves a hole in goal. Defenders, Kevin Long, Raul Petretta, and Sigurd Rosted are all gone. That's significant roster turnover, but it's calculated. To bring in elite talent, you have to create roster spots and free up salary cap space. The question Fraser faces, can he build chemistry fast enough? Preseason in Marbella will be critical for integrating these pieces. Now we arrive at the most important factor in Toronto FC's 2026 season, and it has nothing to do with talent or tactics. March 14th through May 9th, 9 consecutive home games. This isn't by design, it's by necessity. BMO Field is undergoing renovations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Toronto is a host city, which is fantastic for Canadian soccer and the city's profile, but it creates a scheduling nightmare for Toronto FC. Let me be clear about what this means. After this homestand, Toronto will spend extended periods on the road, multiple away games in succession, travel fatigue, hostile environments, no home cooking. General Manager Jason Hernandez has been blunt that the schedule is imperfect from a sporting perspective. That's executive speak for, this is going to be extremely difficult to manage. Here's the reality check. Toronto must capitalize on this homestand. Not just win a few games, they need to dominate. Target, minimum 6 wins, ideally 7. Go 7-1-1 during this stretch, and they're sitting pretty at 22 points with most of the season ahead. But go 4-3-2? Now they're at 15 points, and they're chasing all season long against Eastern Conference teams that have balanced schedules. This is where Walker Zimmerman's experience becomes invaluable. When every home game carries playoff implications, you need players who've been in pressure situations. MLS Cup finals, World Cup qualifiers. Zimmerman has seen it all. The psychological pressure cannot be underestimated. Fans will pack BMO Field expecting results. Media scrutiny intensifies with each game. One bad loss, and suddenly the narrative becomes Toronto is wasting their opportunity. Fraser has to manage minutes, rotation, and keep his squad fresh mentally and physically. 9 home games in 2 months is unprecedented. The bottom line, this 9-game homestand will define Toronto's season. Execute here, and playoffs are realistic. Stumble, and it's another year of disappointment. Let's talk expectations. Toronto finished last season at 6-14-14, missing playoffs for the 5th straight year. That's unacceptable for a club of this stature. So what's realistic for 2026? The Eastern Conference is competitive but wide open. There's no dominant powerhouse like you sometimes see in the West. Columbus won MLS Cup, but the East is up for grabs. Point target, 45 to 50 points. That translates to roughly 12 or 13 wins, which should secure a playoff spot in the East. The path there is clear. Dominate the 9-game homestand, 7 wins minimum. Split road games during the difficult stretch. Go 500 or better. Stay healthy and build chemistry throughout the season. Defensively, Toronto should be significantly improved. Zimmerman immediately makes them harder to break down. If they can keep clean sheets at home during that crucial stretch, they are in business. Offensively, questions remain. Derek Etienne Jr. is solid, but Toronto lacks a proven 15 to 20 goal scorer. That brings us to their biggest remaining need. Defense wins championships, but you can't win 1-0 every game. Toronto needs goals, and right now, they don't have a clear answer at striker. The latest reports link Toronto to Josh Sargent from Norwich City. The 25-year-old American international has been productive in England's championship, and on paper, he fits. Young enough to be in his prime for years. International experience with the USMNT, pace, hold-up play, and finishing ability. Plus, having another American alongside Zimmerman could ease his transition. But Norwich won't let him go cheaply. We're talking significant transfer fees and wages. Is Toronto willing to spend? The alternative, look to South America. Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay. These markets have produced countless MLS success stories. A young, hungry striker from South America might cost less and have higher upside than a European-based player. The transfer window stays open until May, but timing matters. The sooner Toronto adds their striker, the more time he has to integrate and build chemistry with his teammates. Without a proven goal scorer, Toronto's ceiling is limited. They might make the playoffs, but they won't go deep without someone who can finish chances consistently. Reality check. Toronto needs to sign a striker before the season starts. This isn't optional. It's mandatory for playoff contention. Fraser is a defensive-minded coach. His Colorado Rapids teams were organized, disciplined, and tough to break down. That's his identity, and Toronto's off-season moves reflect that philosophy. Expect Fraser to play some variation of a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. Zimmerman anchors the defense alongside a partner. likely one of the younger center backs. Pereira and the right back push forward to support attacks while maintaining defensive shape. The double pivot in midfield provides cover for the fullbacks and helps transition from defense to attack. This is where Toronto needs intelligence and work rate. Up front, if they sign a true number 9, he becomes the focal point. Etienne Jr. provides width and creativity from the wing. The attacking midfielder links play and creates chances. It's not revolutionary, but it doesn't need to be. Fraser's system is about execution, not innovation. If Toronto can defend as a unit and capitalize on their chances, this approach works. The key is balance. They can't be so defensive that they can't score. They can't be so attacking that they're vulnerable on the counter. Finding that equilibrium will determine their success. All right, let's make some predictions for Toronto FC's 2026 season. Regular season. Finish, 6th place in the Eastern Conference, 48 points. That record, 13-11-10. Not spectacular, but enough to secure a playoff berth. It represents significant improvement from last year's disaster. Walker Zimmerman, MLS Best 11 selection, Defender of the Year finalist. He'll be everything Toronto hoped for and more. The 9-game homestand. Toronto goes 6-2-1. Good, but not great. They'll wish they banked more points, but it's enough to stay in playoff contention. Striker situation. They sign someone, but not Josh Sargent. Likely a South American import who scores 10 to 12 goals. Solid, not spectacular. Playoff result. Toronto makes the playoffs as a 6 or 7 seed. They win their first playoff game, ending the 5-year drought, but lose in the next round. Bold prediction. Matthias Pereira emerges as one of the league's better left backs. He'll fly under the radar nationally, but Toronto fans will recognize his value. The X factor. Chemistry and health. If this team stays healthy and builds chemistry quickly, they could exceed expectations. If injuries hit or chemistry issues arise, they could miss playoffs again. The verdict. Toronto FC will return to the playoffs in 2026. Not as contenders, but as a team trending upward. The foundation is being rebuilt, and by 2027 they could be legitimate conference challengers. Let's step back and look at what this season represents for Toronto FC. This is year 1 of the Robin Fraser era. He inherited a mess. A team that had missed the playoffs 4 straight years, lacked identity, and had lost connection with its fan base. In year 1, despite a losing record, Fraser showed he could organize a defense. The front office saw enough to back him with the players he needed. That matters. The Walker Zimmerman signing signals ambition. Toronto isn't content with mediocrity. They're not rebuilding for 5 years, they want results now. But we need perspective. This is still a work in progress. New players, new system, unusual schedule challenges. Even successful rebuilds take time. The 2017 treble team wasn't built in one off-season. It took years of smart signings, player development, and coaching to reach that peak. This current Toronto team is in the early stages of that process. What fans should look for isn't perfection, it's progress. Fewer goals conceded, more games where they look organized and competitive, a return to playoff football and the belief that comes with it. If Toronto achieves those things in 2026, then 2027 becomes the year where they can legitimately compete for the Eastern Conference title and a deep playoff run. So here's the final word on Toronto FC's 2026 season. This team will make the playoffs, not because of one player, but because of cumulative improvements across the roster and coaching. Walker Zimmerman transforms the defense. That's not hyperbole, that's reality. Elite defenders change everything behind them. The 9-game homestand will be must-watch television from March 14th to May 9th. Toronto's season hangs in the balance. Every match matters. Every point counts. They need to sign a striker. That's non-negotiable. Without goals, even the best defense can't win consistently. Robin Fraser deserves a credit for rebuilding this team's identity. Defense first, organized, disciplined. It's not flashy, but it's functional. The Eastern Conference is wide open. Toronto has the pieces to compete. They have the coaching, the defensive foundation, and if they add that final attacking piece, they have enough. This is a playoff team. Maybe not a championship team yet, but a playoff team. And for Toronto FC fans who've endured 5 years of disappointment, that's a massive step forward. Toronto, FC's 2026 season begins February 21st at FC Dallas. The home opener is March 14th against the New York Red Bulls. That's when the 9-game homestand begins. And that's when we'll really learn what this team is made of. I want to hear your predictions. Do you think Toronto makes the playoffs? Is Walker Zimmerman worth the investment? Who should they sign as their striker? Sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button and subscribe for more MLS analysis throughout the season. We'll be tracking Toronto FC all year long with in-depth coverage, match analysis, and playoff predictions. Thanks for watching.